Is it the same Twitch?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, let's do this fast and I'm going to bed.
Sure. There we go. Observer mode.
In bed, you mean Solaris?
Are you guys all gonna
Well,
play?
you're going.
Observe, let's see.
Yeah.
No, I'm not playing.
Alright, let's start. Hello everyone, welcome to this podcast. We are SWU, which is a Europa Universalis community. I believe this is like the podcast of the 6th, 7th session. I'm not quite sure anymore.
Pretty sure it's the last one.
Last one? Yeah, the next session is probably going to be the last one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm joined here by 3 guests. You guys can introduce yourself.
I guess I'll start. I'm Sauron. I'm playing the Ottomans in the campaign.
Yo, on Pursuit, I'm trying to survive as Mali.
What's up? I'm Arzil and I'm playing Republic of Switzerland.
Perfect. Let's start where we always start. West Europe.
What a shithole.
Well, in Western Europe, basically nothing happens, so we can just skip ahead to the age, I guess.
Yeah. I do want to make a comment on the nice borders that France and Spain have. They've had these borders for like 200 years, maybe 300.
Box.
The Hackbox did it more than 2 people.
Yeah.
Sibling hug box.
Still though, that's nice roleplay in the borders.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, in the end of the day, EU4 is a game of, like, what benefits you and what doesn't. And I don't think Spain and France fighting helps any one of them.
I
So
mean,
you have to understand, right?
at some point I think France could have taken over Spain, but maybe
What,
Valid
for
the
what
ally more.
reason?
Yeah, some
Like,
dev.
what does it give him?
I don't think France is at its state max. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I just know that, like, Spain has been a reliable ally for France to some extent. And France had a lot of other things to deal with, so...
Yeah, I agree. Let's take a look at
if
their
you
victory
change some
cards,
diplomacy.
actually. Yeah.
If you change some diplo, maybe something else would have changed, but... As long as, like, the big Eastern Bloc existed, France kind of, like, had to keep the same kind of diplomacy.
If you look at the victory cards, France is really lucky with its victory cards. They're not on Spain. But Spain has 2
I mean, Spain is really lucky with France's victory cards.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
That's the other thing. Victory cards play such a big role in, like, how diplo works.
Yeah.
There's new ones coming very soon, so...
Yeah, that's gonna be a very important factor, I believe. Yeah, I don't think much happened here. I think Cologne got killed.
Rest in peace.
But that's about it. So
No more Catholic nations.
Is it?
Well, Cologne's technically still alive, so...
That's Hungary.
Alright. Well, I mean, I don't know. That nation... I was expecting Cologne... It's like either he would survive and kill France, or France would survive and kill him. And, yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Prussia, actually. As we're going more east.
Prussia's pretty strong.
Prussia, 500 income, almost. 600 force limit. 127 discipline. That's not that much as Prussia, right?
he probably doesn't have any militarism.
Yeah, you have to put... Maybe edicts are not on.
He doesn't have the advisor. He has the policies, though. One policy.
And he just got his victory cards from Ruthenian.
Yeah, but he has no score, really.
Yeah.
Aside from the victory cards.
The score gain is also not that great. I'm also kind of trying to identify people that could potentially be in the top 5. Do you guys think Prussia could be one?
I think it depends a lot on how the world reacts to the fact that not much of the game is left, and the top 2 powers are allied.
Yeah,
No, they're not.
You're saying that.
Yes,
Top
they
two
are.
powers are Vijayanagar and Ruthenia, and they are not allied.
No,
Yeah.
Ruthenia and Ottomans, according to score, that's the top 2 powers.
Okay,
Yeah.
but if you're counting score, if you're counting actual,
I'm talking score.
countries,
We have
Vijayanagar is
like
the strongest
70-ish
country.
years. We have 70 years left in the game, and number 1 and number 2 place are friendly. So unless the world bands together to try to,
I
stop
feel
them
like this
from
is a
winning.
bit biased. I'm on your side, but
I
this is a
agree.
bit biased.
I've never said this is not biased, but in the end of the day, math is math. You have the top 2 powers that are in charge, and you know how score works. Score isn't something that's going to magically add 7,000 points to your score out of nowhere. There's not that many years left. In one session,
There's
maybe
still
a
enough
session and a half.
tick left to kick them out.
Well, so what's the difference between, tell me, Ruthenia and, for example, 5th slot? What's the difference?
I'm looking at it right now, actually. Ruthenia has 10, 8, 5, 6. But he doesn't have his victory cards yet, I believe.
And he also won't get them unless he somehow makes Prussia go back on his deal. Or so. Because if you paid attention, Ruthenia has the same victory card as Prussia. So there will be no trading, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to trade.
And the other victory card he doesn't have yet is the 1K, so that doesn't really matter much.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look at this, Prussia is still 3K, assuming that Ruthenia is not going to get his victory card on Hungary or Prussia. It could still be pretty tight.
How can it be tight? There's a 7,500 difference.
No, there's a 3,000 difference.
Wait, how much does he have, Prussia?
Prussia has 7K
7K.
score.
Okay, and he's
He
what
has 6K
position?
from victory cards.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, one little war, and all of Prussia's score can be wiped out, whereas Ruthenia's score literally can't.
Yeah, that's true. But
So all I'm saying is, like, who is the most likely candidate to win? No, well, of course the guy
But
who's
to
top,
win,
but also the guy who has.
I'd say I don't actually know where the victory cards for Vijayanagar, France, and Oda are.
France is on Switzerland, which is also going to be peculiar, especially for you, Arjo. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I'm giving it away.
I mean, if France wants it, he can get it. If you give it away or not, it doesn't matter really.
Yeah, what is
True,
France's
true.
score? What is France's score? Is France a serious contender? I'd say he's gaining a lot of score,
What score does he have now?
and
Can
he
you switch over?
has 9K.
Yeah, France can. I mean, he doesn't have his 3K victory card, which he can get easily. So that already brings him, I think, even in P1.
Yeah.
And he's 5th right now, so the gap isn't even that big.
Can I see in a ledger somehow the score? Countries?
Score comparison.
Okay.
Yes.
We have Ottomans, Revolutionary, Ruthenia. Vijayanagar is actually really high up.
Yeah, that's why I said Vijayanagar is, I think, the favorite now. Unless his Hackbox dissolves, he'll definitely win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can
Because
talk about it.
me as Ottomans and Ruthenia together can barely win against him.
Yeah. I was in.
So the only thing that can stop him is if he no longer gets money from Orissa, so he can't finance all his mercs. Because he has alone more merc limit than me and Ruthenia combined, I think.
Yeah.
But he's very close.
What do you guys think of that late game ideas of Vijayanagar? The 50 plus merc. It's probably one of the best ideas in the game, right?
Yeah,
I mean, mercenaries
it's
are
late in the
broken in
game, but he
general.
still needs to get the money for that somehow.
Yeah.
And mercs are expensive. It's not like they're for free. So
Yeah, let's go back to East Europe. We have Revolutionary Ruthenia, Hungary. How strong is Hungary? I don't expect much. Sorry, Hungary. But can this guy hold his own a little bit?
I mean, he's basically the weakest country in Europe, I think.
Even by
It's one-
Not
Switzerland?
sure
Hungary
if Switzerland
versus
is.
Or-
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how strong Switzerland is, but Hungary, I don't expect much.
No.
He can only survive by doing good Diplo and preventing the stronger countries around him from attacking him, or at
Hungary is
least
stronger
getting
than Switzerland.
protected.
Arjo, do you think you can take Hungary in a 1v1?
Yeah, if I'm defending, definitely.
That could be
He
interesting
can
to
have
see.
he can have fun invading my mountains.
Definitely do have a lot of mountains. Alright. Do we see Switzerland as a contender?
No,
Too
definitely
small.
not.
But
And
Switzerland
France
can be a
has military count.
disruptive force.
Well, what did you say, Basid?
Switzerland can be a disruptive force. Switzerland can, you know, destroy the world order if it wishes to.
I mean,
Join the
guess,
righteous, take down the top guys.
I guess he has a strategical place in Europe, where you can either defend France or not defend France.
I don't
Um,
think anyone has any gain on killing Switzerland except for if there's like a VC or something on him.
I mean,
Yeah.
France has a VC, but he's
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
it, so.
Which exactly. So at that point, who's gonna want to fight Switzerland? No one.
Let's move a bit more to the east again. Actually, I'm gonna include Ruthenia, Ottomans, Yemen, and Mali in this shot. Mali, you're in a war. Do you want to say anything about it?
All right. So the biggest mistake I made this campaign. Bear in mind, this is my first time with you guys, right? So
Yeah.
I didn't really have any solid allies. Let's put it like that. I've been flopping here
So you
and there.
decided to make enemies instead.
No, I decided to have some fun. Okay, it's fun.
Okay, well, it really sounds like you're having fun right now with all those
not
Ruthenian
anymore.
armies.
Not anymore. It was fun before. It's like drugs, you know. It's like woohoo, exciting, and after that you feel kind of sick. It's like, oh, it's not that fun anymore. And, yeah, Mali decided to take some drugs, and the drugs aren't very good.
No.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, we had to do something, right? Like we're 6. We want to get into the top 5. The only way we can get into the top 5 is if we go for our VCs.
Well,
One VC is unattainable. The only other one is on Yemen. So
wait,
yeah.
which VT is on the table more? Which one is that?
there's one in Spain. It's not happening.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough one.
Um,
How did you get that one? Did you have land here? Oh, yeah, you probably did.
No, I don't know. It was like the second VC I got. It was like hardcore. I don't know if it was second or third, but
That was the
yeah,
first one.
it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Spain won't get it on you.
I mean, look, honestly, I'm not that bothered by it. Like, I did what I could. I don't think any African state really has any chance to win a European Universalis game unless it's heavily modded. There's just too many negatives, too many things.
Yeah,
that
Africa's
impact
pretty
the game.
shit land.
Like,
You start really weak, so.
Yeah. The best you could do is some insanely lucky fortuitous turns of events, and because of the nature of this game, with like kind of alliances which have been very very solid for the majority of the campaign, it's really hard to
Yeah.
it's really hard to exploit anything, especially when there's only 2 states in Africa. I mean, how can you like? I could never win against Spain because he's protected by France. I could never fight against Yemen because he was protected by Ottomans. I did fight all over the world. I mean, we sailed to Indonesia, we went to New York and Canada, we fought in South America, so we hit all over the place. But sadly, when it comes to our first proper war against our African neighbors, it's not really an African versus African affair. It's more so.
You joined a war with Indonesia versus Ottomans, so I mean, expecting that to be about Africa is like, what the
To
fuck?
be fair, it kind of was
Yeah,
about
that's
Africa. Like for me at least, right? It was just, it was supposed to be a quick. Ooh, can you just find like this one battle for us, and we'll give you like this one place here, and then you can peace out. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
but
good. Okay.
Yemen isn't co-belligerent, so there was literally no way you could get that.
Look, I was deceived.
They lied
okay?
to you.
I was deceived, right? I wasn't thinking straight. I had a little bit to drink. I was having a good time, playing with the bongos.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. It's all about evacuating to South America now. Okay, we're evacuating.
Yeah.
You can occupy my land, but poor land is poor land. So enjoy it.
What about Japan?
I noticed you don't have any forts here, by the way, Pursuit. Is that deliberate? You don't have a lot. Of
There's
forces.
supposed to be a fort, and that there's a province which there's supposed to be a fort, but I don't know if you can see that it's not finished building. So
Alright.
yeah.
Oh, I
There's
see. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate circumstances.
To be fair, Africa is kind of it's a lot of choke points. You had that fort there.
It has choke points, but
I mean, that fort is still on flatland, right? So it doesn't
Yeah.
really
yeah,
have that much.
there's no it doesn't really provide much, and forts are super easy to take.
By the way,
have
the
military
real protection for you is the fact that both me and Ruthenia can't actually see that corridor. So we can't actually walk through there.
Well, I'll tell you something. The real protection for me is diplomacy. Okay, and
Yeah,
we're gonna see
you
how
did
things
that.
unfold. Hopefully things unfold well. After discovering that Vijayanagar is a fellow Russian player, there is hope on the horizon. It's not good to exploit outside of game things, but when you're facing such overwhelming odds, I mean, just look at the morale difference between Ruthenia and Mali.
Yeah, I
Take a
believe
look
it.
at
Man. I believe it.
It's so bad.
Does Mali
Like,
even have military? Oh, yeah, they
When
do.
I looked at it, I'm telling you, when your butt clenches, and I couldn't unclench it for like a day, man. Like, just don't look at it. It's so bad.
Alright.
You
But
don't wanna- it's terrible.
Pursuit, why did you decide to do Mali instead of Songhai?
Why Songhai better? Just want to know. What do you think
Military
about
ideas in
Songhai?
late game, I guess.
What military ideas in late game?
I don't remember, but I do know that
And-
Songhai has better ones.
Infantry, discipline, and morale.
Mali has discipline.
Yeah, but Songhai has infant combat ability and morale as well.
Mali has infantry combat ability.
What about morale?
Well, there's no 10% morale. That's true. But I mean, Mali is like, I don't know. Like, honestly, like, what does it matter? Like, Mali, dude. I think Mali. The biggest problem with Mali is not its ideas. I think there's a curse for your kings. Like,
I guess.
I promise you, I swear to God, if you play Mali,
I mean,
you
you
will
have
not
two
have
shit starting kings already.
screw the
king
shit
and
starting kings. I think you have like a 99% chance to roll a shit king at any point in the game. I don't know if you saw my solution to this, but I became a republic just because I can't deal with that anymore. I
Alright.
rerolled so many kings. I'm like, just stop. I can't look at this.
I remember, I think it was last season, I think Duck was playing on Mali, and he had shit kings all the time as well. And he always
It's
ended
terrible.
the session with like 000 regencies.
Yes,
It's absolutely
remember.
terrible. It's
it was super
unbelievable.
funny.
Mali's cursed. Like, there's some hidden stuff that you have to we have to go through the files and look.
Oh,
There has to be something.
well,
Aside from the fact that the only country I would ever play in Africa is Ethiopia, and Northern Africa doesn't count. Yeah,
It's just the
So,
trade is just
the
awful.
rest is
for
just shit. Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
You-
there's
you
like
could-
no
you
way
could've
to make
become-
good money as Mali from trade,
Exactly, it's impossible. There's
unless you
nothing can do.
somehow conquer Iberia, but that's not going to happen in
Yeah,
multiplayer.
of course not. I don't know. I think Africa is cursed.
I mean, I think you did pretty well considering your circumstances. It would be even better if you managed to get that victory card, but that looks pretty grim right now. So-
Well, as I said, it
I mean, there
depends.
aren't that many countries left in the game, so I mean, he could also just get one per default. Also, as far as I know, Orisa will get his points halved for moving to New World. So that's one country who is pretty much out of contention. That leaves not many strong countries left.
Well, I achieved my goal of having a good time.
Oh.
There was some crucial wars, tough battles, but yeah. If someone does a better job as Mali in the future, I'll congratulate them and say you guys did a good job, and hopefully someone else can perfect everything.
Yeah, we'll see. Next country I want to talk about is Yemen, because it's not looking that hot right now. I think he.
I mean, half his country is occupied, so
Yeah. I think he went the same route as you by going Republic. Sure, we also had the bad rulers.
I mean, for me, it was just meme value, honestly. Like, I don't think switching Republic in like 1650s is a viable strategy.
Yeah.
It doesn't really solve your problem of rulers, because at that point it doesn't really matter that much. But
I see Yemen
Yep.
walking into your land as well. Let's see how much people are in this war. The numbers are pretty even. I guess the troop quality is not. But what the fuck is this? Why do you guys have 500 cannons?
Good question.
Orisa, Khmer? What? That's a bit excessive.
Yeah, dude, I don't really know.
I mean, for Orisa, I kind of understand it because he has a lot of reason for separate fighting armies all the time because of his fleet superiority, but I don't understand it for Khmer.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on where you engage, right? Like where you fight and what you do.
If you look at the army
Yeah, but
sizes,
in this late game wars, unless you're like heavily split up in forces, and that's not going to happen if you're only fighting land versus land empire, the most you can really use is 2 cannon stacks. Everything else is just too much.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but then if all the countries add their own stacks, like 40 or 80k, you'll end up with that amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only 3 countries with over 400.
To be fair, the
Okay,
one thing
artillery.
that I think went kind of well in this war for what do we call them? Do we call the Ottomans Yemen and like Ukraine the Axis powers, and can we be the allies? Alright, let's call them
It
that,
can
right?
be the hard box.
How am I part of a hug box, dude? I
You
literally,
joined them. I'm not saying you're part of it, but you
I've
joined
never
this
been
war.
part of any hug box. I'm like neutral. I switch sides depending on what benefits my nation,
Oh, jeez.
right?
So, in other words, whoever pays you.
Yes, exactly, dude. Orisa paid me a very handsome sum. Thankfully, I managed to develop my industry, and Mali people profited.
So I guess we can say that you're part of the Indian hug box now, because Orisa is the only country who has a lot of money now.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yemen's defeat, in a sense, in that like one war, crushed his income. income
He's
got
occupied.
crushed.
We don't know what this income.
Yeah,
is.
but look at trade.
Income
It's the trade.
go back up once
It's the
he
trade.
pieces out and fixes his trade stuff, because his trade capital got relocated to Ethiopia, and that means he's no longer collecting in the main node, which had all his
Exactly.
trade stuff, and the other node is completely occupied where he collected, so he's not getting any money from trade right now.
Mhm.
Exactly. So Ethiopia in the current war, who's the money bag of, let's call it the Axis, hopefully
Yemen.
the fact that they lost their financial backing will tempt people to exploit this temporary weakness.
It's not temporary if we lose this war. Oh wait, I mean, I'm the war goal, so I guess it is temporary, but
Well, I mean, depends how long the war lasts, right? If it lasts for another 50 years.
but it will not do that. I'm pretty sure.
Well, how do you expect to win it?
I'm not I don't know. I mean,
Because I don't think you can actually, your lines can't actually win the war. What they can do is peace out Mali, but you can only peace out, well, because I'm a non-co-belligerent, by white piecing me.
I'm pretty sure
you
we can
stab
get
hitting.
a 50% war score.
And then
on-
you'll stab hit me because you're only allowed to white
Not only
stab
you
hit.
in the war in total, because Constantinople is the war goal, which means extra 25 war score for us.
All right, so then you can stab hit Orissa.
Yes.
So
and that
what,
ends the war.
what are you gonna gain? How much do you think you can gain in terms of actual like?
Well, we can
gain?
gain a lot of money.
That's very true.
That is absolutely correct, 100%. But is that something that you would be like interested in? What I'm saying is like every time I play U4, the biggest problem for me in terms of like player wars is everyone makes this global, insane, huge conflict. They're like unending fights to the death. I really, really despise that. I really
Do
wish
you
people
think
had.
Orisa won't attack us again when Vijayanagar starts losing?
That's what I'm trying. I'm not saying you guys are at fault of it. I'm saying everyone is at fault of this. I really despise these big wars. Like for me, wars should be quick, not very like bloodbathy. They shouldn't last 20, 30, 40 years, and they shouldn't be wars which, you redeclare. I don't know how to fix that because it's inherently base of the game, and that's how people should play to gain the most benefit.
Mhm.
But it doesn't feel right. It makes no sense that, you gained your objective, and then it's just an endless meat grinder until you eliminate someone. And the fact is, people have alliances, so it causes like a cascade of eliminations. Unless
Well,
someone
the
backs
problem
out.
is if the goal of one party is to kill the other one, what's the point for the other one to stop fighting?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The only way you can stop fighting is by killing someone, right? Because diplomacy literally means nothing if you've taken something because people want revenge and everything, right?
I mean,
Like for example, I never this war I had nothing against Yemen. It was not like a war that like, hey, I want to kill Yemen, screw that guy. It was more like, look, what can I do to win this game, right? What can I do to make my nation a little bit better? And what I can do is take my worst war goal, right? That's like my only option. So I'm like, look, if I can take my war goal, I have nothing wrong with him. And when I asked him to give it to me at like this couple of years back, he was basically no, right? So what choice do I have? I have to do something. I can't get score from income. I can't get score from more diplomacy. I can't get score from a higher military. There's no way I can get score unless I take the war goal. War goal, so victory card. So, it's like one of those situations where I don't want to do a death war against him. That's not my intention. I don't want to keep him fighting over and over again. I want to go sail somewhere else, maybe invade Japan. How do I know? But now it seems like this conflict is most likely going to reduce either me or him to nothing, which I don't want.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, not maybe. I think it's a given. Like, how else do you deal with such a thing? I don't know. He's gonna want revenge. He already told me he's gonna do nothing but ruin my game. So
Wow.
That's pretty good.
you know what I mean? Like, as much as I understand his point of view, I did kind of backstab him, I guess, a little bit.
I guess a little bit.
Well, we weren't allied for like 100 years, and he never financed me when I asked him, and he was like, sell me your lands, and I'm like, okay. So it wasn't exactly a friendly relationship to begin with. I don't really see it as a backstab, more so as an unexpected Malian expedition.
Which is just another way of saying backstab, but okay.
That's
But you
some
backstab your
difference.
friends. If you're acquaintances, is that really a backstab?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Uh,
A backstab is someone attacking you who you're not expecting to. And that's kind of what happened, I
Okay,
guess.
fine. Then I did let's call it a front stab.
front step.
Yes.
I mean,
Oof.
like, I don't think we should
'Cause I'm pretty
backstab.
sure both of us were expecting war at some point.
I don't think we should backstab or like backstab shame or whatever it's called. But
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Oh no, dude, backstabbing is
like-
great.
Also, Yemen is not in this podcast, so it's kind of rude to
Yeah,
just
yeah.
talk.
True. I love
about
the
him
guy.
like
Don't
that.
worry. Hopefully, at some future campaign, we can have good relations.
You just gotta backstab him again. Make sure.
Can we talk about the Phoenix that is Afghanistan?
Well, sure. I mean, I've been hovering over it.
You mean the Warsaw that is Afghanistan?
That's very true.
Oh.
I'm not gonna deny that. I didn't win this war.
Is Afghanistan unconquered?
I mean, you made it super annoying for us to take back other forts we lost, but other than that, you literally didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Aside from annoying Ruthenia with.
But
When
Alright,
it's-
here's a question. Here's a question I have. If Mali loses a war, would Afghanistan be down to buying land from Mali to create a line of defense?
sure. Actually, Fijanikar offered me that as well. To sell him lands.
I will pay you to take my lands and build forts on them.
I don't even have a port, so I don't see how that's gonna work. Oh, I guess with the Age of Revolution thing.
Yeah, if you have it, you can just core anywhere.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to build a few forts.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the lands to form Persia. I'm not sure what I should do with it. I might actually kind of want to ask you guys for advice. Should I keep the Persian ideas or should I keep the
Of course, you should go Persian ideas.
I think you should keep Afghanistani ideas, honestly, with your situation. But you should definitely form Persia because you get some good events. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too late. Maybe they expired.
Nah, keep Persian ideas.
Keep
Go
Persian.
Persian ideas.
I lose
Well,
my fort defense.
It's about fort defense. Yeah.
That's the point!
And the attrition.
Fort
Do you
defense
really
and
expect
attrition.
Good advice from your enemy.
yeah.
Then maybe even your allies will attack you.
Actually, while we're at it, let's discuss what Sarn says is a very big contender, and I agree with him. Vijayanagar.
Janagar is really strong.
As long as someone finances him, he can basically beat anyone 1v1, no problem, because of his huge merc limit.
Yeah. How do I see the merc limit again?
Just go into a province and try to recruit one, I guess. It already should tell you how many mercs he has right now.
Yes,
Or
344
the
right now.
macro builder also works. You can check how many mercs he has in the army tab, where you just.
He-
there.
He even has a template called merc spam, and it has 200 mercs. Can I build that?
I mean, he needed that when we stack wiped half, or I guess most of their armies because they got cut off.
I can make
He should make a
200 of this template.
he should make a Merc Doom
400.
stack.
He could.
I mean, VJ did that in the war, but I think we killed that stack once.
He needs to make a bigger one.
No, it got killed because he was cut off and couldn't retreat anymore.
Well, that means it wasn't the Doom stack if he was forced to retreat.
Well, I guess.
You can compare it with Caramello's Doom stack last campaign.
So, I'm checking it right now. I can make 466, and he currently also has like 344. But this guy has a Merc force limit of like 800. Maybe a little.
Okay, then it's actually bigger than me and Ruthenia combined, because I have like close to 300, I think. It might be less now when because I lost land. And Ruthenia has something about like 400, I think. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, this is insane. Like, this is probably one of the best ideas in late game ever. Available
What
mercenary.
about Burgundy?
Burgundy
Does
also have
Burgundy also have plus 50% Merc limit?
Isn't there some weird exploit where, if you have vassal force limit from, I think vassal force limit, and then Merc limit, that shit scales like super efficiently.
I don't know.
I mean, there's a point with that you can actually get a lot of force limit from vassals with the right government ideas.
Yeah, Burgundy also gets 50% available mercs.
Oh, nice.
Burgundy's
Maybe I should
probably
play
Burgundy
Burgundy.
probably has better ideas than France. If you think about it. For late game.
a late game, maybe.
What does France
Yeah, for late
actually
game, yes,
have?
but
Just morale?
France is a lot better in mid game, especially when he has his age ability.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, no, because you can become France and keep Burgundy ideas.
Oh, right, that's true.
True, true.
So would you keep Burgundy ideas? Probably
Yes, definitely. You have goods produced. You have available mercs. Merc maintenance is not bad for if you're by yourself.
Do you have
10% morale, 5 discipline, and
Okay, then that's
20%
good.
manpower. I think honestly, Burgundy into France, allied with Great Britain and Spain. Heck yeah, boys! Let's make this happen.
No,
Why do you need
I don't
Spain?
see
Only
that.
Great Britain is enough. You can only
I
have
don't
one ally
see-
anyway.
No, I don't see GB being allied to Burgundy.
Oh, if he sells him
Simply 'cause
his
it's
trade
trade.
node,
Why? You can just have Great Britain get all the trade, and he finances Burgundy, who just spams everyone with mercs.
exactly.
That's so.
True.
I mean, it's basically the same thing that VJ and Orisa are doing in this game. It's just it would be
Yo,
a
next
lot stronger
campaign-
if Great
next
Britain
campaign,
and
next campaign,
Burgundy
let's
do
do
it.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. I'll go
Next
Burgundy.
campaign.
Someone goes GB or the other way around. I don't mind.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That's a good combo. Holy fuck.
Let's exploit the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Spain will be a bit stronger next campaign because he gets the artillery fire thing in his ideas.
Wait, Burgundian
patch.
mercs in the front, Spanish cannons at the back, and British ships. Name me a better combo.
Well, that
sure.
would be pretty good, I guess.
But yeah, victory cards, score. Janigar is doing pretty good. I guess he has to get this victory
I
card
mean,
from
he has
Orisa.
his. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Well, it depends where the fourth one spawns. I'm pretty sure the Ottoman fourth one will spawn on VJ.
Yeah.
No, you know what's gonna happen? Everyone's gonna get their fourth one on Mali.
That can happen
Oh,
for
yeah.
me.
I'm calling it now.
I don't have a border with you, buddy.
Yeah, same. That can happen for me. So, wait, that's my victory cards, right?
Yep.
Although, actually, I think did VJ actually take a province from me?
Maybe this one
Or did
over
everything go to
here. No, this one.
Afghanistan?
CV. He's still coring
You
it.
sure
right
I had that?
now. Yeah, he's coring it right now.
Oh yeah, then he did. Probably took that one. Okay, that means I probably get my VC on that state there.
Calots. Yep.
Yes. I mean that's like 80% chance, I think.
What are the conditions for the 4VC? Do you know?
You can only get it on a potential rival which you are bordering. I'm not exactly sure if there's an added an incentive for allies, but I know that it's more likely to spawn on a land you held before. So that's why I said it's probably going to spawn there.
I have a bad feeling next session. Alright, so the secretly overpowered nation that no one looks at.
I mean, I
Japan.
guess Yemen would probably get his last one on you,
Me, what did I do?
but nobody else
Is
should
it
get it
a
on
different
you.
continent as well?
That doesn't matter. I'm just thinking because what? Well, maybe Yemen actually has me as a potential rival, because if not, you're like the only one he's actually bordering. I mean, Yemen got all his other victory cards on me, so maybe the last one will also spawn on me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey Ottomans, how about you don't fight me and we just split Yemen real fast? Hello?
What would I gain from that?
Cut this from the podcast.
I mean, if you can somehow convince Orisa and Khmer to fuck off and no longer attack me, I guess I'm down for that, but I don't think that's happening, so...
Well, what if you know you get a good ally? And Mali sounds cooler than Yemen. Hello.
You're
Yeah,
still a
man.
good ally.
Yeah, man, that sounds like awesome.
I mean,
Oh,
I
man.
already could witness your usefulness once, and it wasn't that great.
What do you
Fire!
mean?
Wow.
Fire!
You had a fleet that was in port half the time,
Yeah, but I mean, I told you the weakness.
and other than that, you didn't
knew
really
it.
do much. It
Oh,
would have been a lot easier if your fleet wasn't in port half the time.
I did what I had to do, dude. I killed like 300 of his ships. Come on.
Guys,
You did not. You killed like 50, maybe.
can we continue on? Alright, we have Vijayanagar. You guys are saying it. Good contender. Very good contender.
Yeah, top 3.
Depends
Probably
on the
top 3.
funds.
I think Vijayanagar is stronger than Autos by far. Ruthenia
Yeah.
was like the big counterbalance.
Yeah.
I mean, once Ruthenia helped me, I could hold a bit until our manpower was completely drained, and we also had no longer any more manpower troops. Then the superiority in numbers from Vijay and Oda was just too much.
Mhm.
Also, I made a mistake once where I let one of my artillery stacks get stack wiped because I didn't react in time, and that really sealed the deal.
But that one, I want to remind you actually. You did one amazing move like around
Yeah, I know.
here
You
somewhere.
guys made the mistake of pushing on when you're only linked to the rest of your retreat
Was it
stuff.
4 forts?
One
right?
fourth of mine.
Yeah.
It was Tikrit, which I took. Yeah, you were fighting in the hill region there, and then Tikrit was sieged down. But if I took it back, you were stuck there, and that's what I did because it's only a level 4 fort, so easy to take. And I think also VJ forgot to actually give it to you, so
Yeah.
it was a lot easier to take back.
Yep.
And then we actually won the battle. It was pretty close, the battle, but we won it, and then we could just hunt down your armies and eventually stack wipe all of that.
Yep.
That.
Yeah, that was a
It
really
was
good
like
move.
500k, which got stack wiped, I think.
That was an amazing move. I was really impressed. I think Vijayanagar was also impressed.
Yeah.
Which
If we
nation
could
has the best
actually siege
position
down
right now?
forts against your stupid siege fort of defense thing, then it would have been better. But I can no longer run all my siege ability policies because I need other ones to run, so it's kind of not that good anymore.
Yeah.
Also, my professionalism kind of sucks now.
I guess you had to burn a lot. No.
Yeah, by recruiting mercs, that's like a killer for it.
I'm looking at Khmer. Actually, his points are really lacking. He's also not gaining that much.
I mean, Khmer is basically dead. He'll maybe be used to spawn some more victory cards next session, and then he'll die.
He's like a puppet state.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
I think he's
And he's also
Warsaw
not a
and
good player.
Hungary.
Let's
What?
see. Yeah, it's quite a lot of discipline.
I mean, he's worse off than Hungary because everyone around him has victory cards on him, I think. Maybe except from VJ, but everyone else. And
see.
VJ is allied to the other one, so he won't protect him.
Tag.
No one else really can. So,
Victory card. Actually, Oda doesn't have it on him.
wait, he doesn't?
No, Oda has some really weird ones on Orisa.
Wait, what? Okay, interesting. That's unexpected.
Yeah, and then
But I guess
Vijayanagar.
then he has a chance because Arisa won't win with score anyway.
Yeah,
Also, Oda is pretty low on score.
yeah. Oda doesn't
You can
have
actually
any
check
victory
that.
cards. I think. Like all his victory cards are over here on Orisa, and he doesn't have any of it.
That's Khmer's victory cards.
Oh no, wait, yeah. Oh no, Oda is over here. Yeah. Yeah, Oda's not that great on score. He's getting a low score gain right now, though.
Yeah, I guess that's because of the wars.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, that's not that much. I
Well,
know that Ruthenia is ranked first in military. Can you go to the score comparison so we can see who's ranked first
Well,
and so on?
do not forget that he's getting 50% more score.
For Revolutionary. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Orisa gets most score in Diplo and Admin, but it's not actually that big of a difference.
But you need to reduce Orisa's score by 50%.
Yeah, that's why he's not really. Also, I'm not getting anything right now, which is kind of bad.
Oda is number 4 in the active score gain at the moment. Per month, so to say.
Oh, France has a pretty good chance, I guess.
Yeah, France too. Yeah, interesting.
France should start working against VJ because that's the only way he can win.
For top 1 spot, probably, yeah. Kinda agree.
France needs
I mean, if VJ loses the next war, then he's out.
No.
Revolution Ruthenia will still have the most score by far.
Well,
he?
not if you crush
Revolutionary
the
Empire.
revolution.
All Ruthenia has to do is if he takes the stuff from Prussia, he will win instantly.
Yeah, but he's not going to do that because Prussia alone is already strong enough to keep him at bay. He won't win, but he will delay the war long enough for others to intervene.
Who
And
is others?
the Indians will intervene.
Yeah.
I mean, they already did it without really much fight in Europe because Ruthenia, for some reason, attacked Prussia, which
You
was
got right.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually that Prussia managed to win that war. I thought Ruthenia would wall over that or walk over
Well,
that.
he didn't expect the Prussian army to be at the border and ran in with disorganized stacks, and that's why he got soundly beaten the
Stuck.
first time. But after that, he could reorganize his armies and push on.
Mhm.
So I guess in the long run, that war would have been won, but I can't hold off Vijayanagara and Oda together.
Yeah.
And with an additional tech disadvantage, and the fact that Vijayanagara procced the discipline event in this war.
Yeah,
So, like,
he did. It
basically
was-
everything that could be against me was against me, so it's like no chance at all.
Yeah. I noticed Vijayanagara has the dynasty of Oda.
Oh yeah, interesting. Well, I guess they're allied for most of the game, so it's not really that surprising.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then we have Orisa. Yeah, Khmer not doing that great, but despite that, he doesn't really have bad victory cards on him, except for I think Orisa. Orisa's
What about Mexico, Norway, and whoever else?
we're
is in
getting
the
I mean,
world?
those are getting halved also, so they are not relevant for the score thing.
Yeah.
They can only
Uh-huh.
like. I guess Mexico still wants to kick the Indians because they betrayed him.
yeah. Oda and Orisa, especially, I guess, and Khmer.
I guess
Problem
Mexico
with
fell
Mexico
out of
is-
it.
Problem with Mexico is Norway, and problem for Norway is Mexico.
They should
It's
ally, then they
Too
could do
unfriendly.
They were allied, and then Mexico broke it. Hanzo, if you're
He
listening
had
to
to.
this,
He had victory cards. His victory cards were all on Norway.
So what? He's not getting any score top 5 thing because his score is gonna get halved. So why the fuck is he even trying? He doesn't even have score. Like, there's like no chance.
yeah.
You can't get
Look,
top 5.
look!
with five
Don't
hits.
blame the guy for giving it a shot, right? You never know. The world could randomly be evaporated, okay? And he could be the
Yeah,
remaining beacon
sure.
of civilization.
I mean, I can,
Also, he has the beautiful pink color.
I really
okay?
like that color. That color is nice.
Color is fucking awesome, dude.
yeah, the color is nice, but there's still like a good way to do stuff and a bad way to do stuff. And I learned myself that trusting the Mali fleet is not a good idea, and he did that. So I guess
He won the war. He got what he wanted. I sacrificed myself for him.
I guess then it worked out for him.
Yeah,
Luckily
exactly.
for him, he didn't need your fleet to actually occupy his enemy. So I guess that worked out.
But I weakened Norway's financial strength for years
By doing what?
by facilitating the fact that he couldn't move his troops around.
Okay, interesting. I heard he
And
was
also he
completely
had- and also
occupied
he had-
for most of the time.
Exactly.
I very much doubt that you were doing the occupying. But
Well,
okay.
no, I had 300k soldiers in America.
Oh, interesting. Oh well.
It was a weird war. But once again, fleets are OP. Anyways.
Oh yeah. Do you want to talk a bit about the gangbang on Norway? Because I didn't really follow it, because I was kind of busy and I couldn't see it anyway. What happened
Same
with
for
Norway?
me.
Norway declared on Russia.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Prussia panic pieced out when Ruthenia declared on him, I think, or something.
Yeah, but that was like 20 years after.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
Uh,
Somehow Norway was completely occupied and didn't even lose that much.
Yeah.
From it. That was weird, but.
Because no one could get above 50% war score on him.
Well, I'm pretty sure Mexico had 70% at one point.
Yes, Mexico had like 61 or something.
Oh, that I
And
don't know.
and then when he started
But I
stabbing,
heard
the guys
France
accepted the
kind of
first deal.
protected Norway, and that's why he didn't lose that much.
Yes, France made a deal to take land near Norway, and not too sure what that means completely, but
I think I remember something with France had some problems with victory cards that Burgundy had, because he had like Burgundy was in his PU, and therefore like the victory cards that were on Burgundy counted as minus for him or something. I don't know.
Yes.
But he took some lands here. I don't know if it fixed the problem. The Windward
Well,
Island.
it
he
should
had
fix the
did
problem
some-
if the victory cards are no longer completely.
yeah, France is getting
owned.
good score now.
Yeah. That's what he did here. He fixed his victory card here by taking one province. The Windward Islands. Right. Alright, I guess Norway survived somehow. Didn't look like that. I think it was in like 4 wars at the peak.
Yeah, I mean, once again, honestly, it's really at free speed. It's very hard, especially when there's a little bit of lag. It's really hard to perfectly micro, and the only way you could potentially beat even a slightly superior naval thing is if he doesn't do anything and you somehow micro like a god.
Yeah.
And I mean, if both players are players, it's just really hard. And I mean, I grinded down his numbers. He would lose similar amounts of ships to me, so it wasn't an issue about losing ships. It was essentially when you have like 300 ships fighting in the end,
Yeah.
morale is just so key, and it doesn't matter how many ships you lose because you just capture all the ships you lost back, even more so sometimes. So like, okay, both sides lost like 100 ships, but guess what? You just captured like 90. Wow, fantastic. What did you actually lose? Nothing. You know, and that's essentially what happened. It was every battle where I would reinforce. Bear in mind, I didn't do the perfect micro. I could have reinforced better. Ideally, you want to do like I think like 10 ships at a time or something. I was reinforcing like 25, and my fleet just got grinded down morale-wise. I would lose the battle or be forced to retreat and lose a lot of ships, and it just kept on happening over and over and over again. And we couldn't beat Norwegian Navy. It's impossible. He was fully occupied, except for his islands. We were his capital, but you cannot beat naval powers in this game. They're on an island.
I don't know, like the sailors is not that high, and currently Norway doesn't have that high sailors either.
Yeah, I mean the real problem in Navy fighting is that there's almost no way to beat a better fleet with more ships.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the real problem. Anyway, guys, I need to play Stellaris in 10 minutes. So.
Same.
Let's actually wrap it up. This is how
Predictions.
Okay, yeah,
Quick
predictions. quick.
Death to India. Orisa dies.
Ursa dies?
Well, no, Orisa will not die because he's financing everyone there, unless someone else kills him. And
Well,
he's
they
taking
have
naval
victory
now.
guards.
Yeah, but he'll give that away.
Did he take naval, Diaz? Yeah, he did.
Naval is not gonna save Ursa if he decides to fight.
But it would need Norway or Norway to fight him, and
Oh, fire.
that's not gonna
Oh
happen.
yeah, oh nice. I see what you did there. Nice.
I mean, he has naval now. Your fleet is no longer better than his, and he has more ships. So
We'll see about that.
Mali is not enough.
And he's not occupied.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I guess
prediction.
my favorite for the win is either Vijayanagar or France right now, except
No,
if Ruthenia
very
fixes his
biased.
diplo, then that could also
Very
happen.
biased.
Okay.
Very biased.
What is your?
Ruthenia guaranteed win. Bet your money on it. Nothing's gonna happen.
If you want to
Ruthenia-
lose money, okay, do it.
Ottomans to be Ruthenia's bitch till the end of the game. Vijayanagar to come in as the Rohirrim cavalry to save Mali. France to kill Switzerland. And Oda to kill Khmer and then kill Vijayanagar because Ruthenia is gonna pay him. Bam. That's my prediction.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good prediction.
Okay, interesting.
What about you?
We'll see
Okay.
what happens. It's all diplomacy, and
I think Afghanistan is the dark horse.
Afghanistan will survive. Afghanistan will survive.
yeah, he will definitely survive because no one wants to siege down his fucking forts. So anyway, I'm off.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Goodbye.
Take care,
Yeah, it
guys.
was fun, guys. Yeah, thanks for showing up. That was awesome. Stop the stream.